Hey everyone, and welcome to another Adventures Out video. This is voiceover ad. I've decided to do a voiceover on this video.
There was quite a few in the car park.
Decided to do a voiceover on this video because this is a video of me at my first ever AquaPaddle event. These events are kind of like Parkrun for SUPs, kayaks, canoes, anything with a paddle really, any sort of human powered rivercraft I guess. And you basically do a 5k, typically an out and back, maybe a loop if it's on a lake, but typically an out and back. In this case we're at Llangollen in Wales, and it's basically at the start of the Llangollen Canal. And we're about 2.5 k's from the start of the canal, and the idea being we'd paddle right up to the start of the canal at Horseshoe Falls, turn around and then paddle back to this point. And you know, you can treat it as a race, although they would describe it not as a race, but the idea being try and do it as fast as you could reasonably want to.
I feel like I've got a good chance if I'm the only kayak, but then if I can't turn around at the other end, I'll just Austin Powers myself in the
Or you can do it as just a gentle, leisurely paddle day out. I said day out, it's not going to take you all day. That's the plan anyway. So this is the first one at Llangollen, and it's my first one as well. So join me on this new adventure and see what it's like. If I like it, hopefully I'll attend some more. So this one had a gathering time of 9 o'clock and a start time of 9:15. Unfortunately, a few people were a little bit late, but you know, I think if you're not fussed about time, you can essentially just start when you like, as long as you finish within a reasonable time and you don't have people, you know, the marshals hanging around waiting for you. You know, because the marshals are all volunteers, and you know, they're giving up their Sunday when probably they'd prefer to be paddling, you know, than standing on the bank and giving encouragement. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe that's what they want to do. Certainly at Parkrun, I've done a few Parkruns in my time. Certainly at Parkrun there's a whole load of people who'd rather just volunteer than run, and there's plenty of people who will maybe do 1 week running and 1 week volunteering. So maybe this will be the same for AquaPaddle. Now they're not like Parkrun in that they're on at the same location every week. They're spread out around the country, sure, but they're not on at each location every week. They may be on, they're basically on when the captain, they call them, which is the sort of event organiser at that location, decides to put them on. And hopefully for this one we're looking at maybe once a month, perhaps more often during the summer, maybe less often during the winter, who knows, but it'd be nice if it was fairly regular. So yeah, people are starting to arrive at the start now, but you'll hear people saying, oh, where's the toilets at, and all that kind of stuff. So it was getting to the point where we were about to start, and people were starting to get to the start, but then asking where the nearest toilets were, and unfortunately the nearest toilets were about a mile away. So kind of tough really. Maybe a bit more forward planning in the future, but you know, it's difficult sometimes.
Yeah, there's a train now. Yeah.
Yeah, so the captain there was just asking if we're happy to wait till everybody gets there, which of course we were. I mean, okay, it was kind of past the advertised start time, but it'd be a bit silly to start without everybody, especially as they're all coming towards us in the direction we need to go. It would just be a bit of a sort of a bottleneck, I guess.
I was like, how does he know me? Oh, yeah.
You have a number.
Yeah, so that lady there was talking about how the captain knew her name because she'd pre-registered for the event.
Bit of a mix really. Up until sort of last year, I was almost exclusively on the sea, and then I discovered canal paddling during the winter. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of, and I live in Shrewsbury, so I use it quite a lot on the Severn.
Oh, right.
But yeah, I've done quite a lot of.
Market trade, it's usually some nice runs.
Yeah, I've done the market. Montfort Bridge, yeah, I've done that. Yeah, it's about 20k. Yeah.
That's me. Good morning.
Yeah, the lady just before was saying how the captain, which is this chap that stood on the bank, knew her name.
Morning.
Like similar to Parkrun, where you get like a barcode which gets scanned at entry. At finish. With AquaPaddle, it's slightly different, I guess, in that you pre-register for the event. You can't just turn up; you have to pre-register. Although I think you probably would be able to pre-register if you turned up early enough. You've got to pre-register what kind of craft you're bringing, and you have like a registration number. And it's not like it doesn't change with every event, but it's like your registration number, and you can pay to have a unique registration number. So at some point, I might pay to have it ABO and then 3 numbers for adventures out, but at the moment I'm just using a freely issued registration number. And the idea being is you can buy a bib with that on, like the chap that was behind me, but most people just have it strapped to their, like printed out and in a document wallet and then stuck on their PFD. And basically the chat, at the finish, the guy will record your finish by using the number. Unfortunately, I messed up, and when I printed my number out, I didn't realise it hadn't printed, like it's supposed to be 6 digits, and it only printed 4 of the 6 numbers. Here you are, you can hear them asking about where the toilets are, and the captain's saying, the captain's saying we're about to start. So I have to say it was primarily SUP boards, which is fine. I think there was a tandem kayak turned up just after we'd started, and then I don't know if they're part of it or they were just using the canal to get to the start of the River Dee, but there was 2 sort of whitewater kayaks as well, but they may have just been essentially paddling up the canal from Llangollen to the top of the River Dee and then using the River Dee to come back down. I think that's a fairly common route for whitewater kayakers, so they may or may not have been part of AquaPaddle, but you'll see them in the video later on.
No, just walkers.
Right then, team, if we come a little bit closer.
So here we have the briefing. Again, at Parkrun you get a morning briefing, a start briefing, and it's no different at AquaPaddle. So let's all shut up now and listen to the captain give us our briefing.
Cool. Pretend this is your first one. Oh, look at that. Beauty. Mine too. This is our first one. So everyone's got a nice course personal best today, which is lovely. Let me just go through my little thing I've got to go through. Safety briefing. Okay. So we are running a little bit late, but we'll get started. Okay, so welcome everyone to the first one. Okay.
Hello.
Yay, brilliant. Okay. This is going to be our sort of start and finish line. I know it's sort of kind of in the way, but I put it there so you can all see it, I guess, as you come down. So it is a 5k, 2.5 out and back again. Essentially, you're going to go to the start of the canal. Okay, so you paddle all the way up here to the start of the canal. It's wide enough to turn my board around, which is 10.6 with a little bit either side. If you're over that, essentially there's another little jetty like that which you can just step out on, spin it around, get back on again. Okay. The canal, pretty much this wide all the way. There are some narrow sections, not narrow enough to affect you individually. It's just if you're trying to overtake someone, just bear that in mind that you're probably going to get a paddle. Okay, so if someone's overtaking you, just work together basically. I'd imagine the start bit will be the cheekiest part, and then after like 5 minutes it'll all just spread out anyway. And then when people are coming back the opposite direction, obviously my advice is just try and paddle on the left hand side. Everyone knows where they are then, don't they? So you can just pass each other nicely, easily. Happy with that bit?
Yep.
It is fairly shallow in the sense that you're going to hit the floor everywhere if you step off, okay? And you might get to the side as well, so where you choose to be on your paddleboard is up to you. We've got Scarlett and Meg behind me here, and Carly is up there somewhere. They're going to be spread along. So Carly's going to be at the end, okay, and then Meg and Scarlett are going to be spread out along the path basically. So you'll see them as you're going along, and then she'll just counting you through just so we know where you are. Weather for today is going to be blue sky, sunshine, 26. No, it's not. It's basically it's going to be racing like this the whole way. The canal does have a bit of a flow, but it's only like a 1k flow. You will feel it going that way. Turn around, it's so much easier. Okay. I paddled it yesterday. I paddled it the wrong way. I basically came with the flow, turned around, went back, and then suddenly you feel it. So on the way up, it is a bit more tiring. If at some point you guys have had enough, okay, could you just come back and let me know you've had enough? I know because the car park's over there is probably quite busy. So if you can come back, just let someone know that you've left. Because what we're doing is obviously making sure you're all safe and back off the water. First aiders are spread out amongst us. Okay, so as you go along, first aid. Just if you've got any issues, speak to us. That's it. Everyone happy with that?
Yes, yeah. Thank you.
I think there is.
Oh, there's...
Hold on the side.
Right then. So putting, like I say, there's different ways to phrase it. But if you're going to go for it, go to the front. If you're not going to go for it, don't go to the front. Does that make sense? Because what we don't want is people at the front and suddenly being overtaken by loads of people. Okay, so super keynotes to the front.
I may have underestimated how fast some of these paddleboarders were.
Right then. It shouldn't affect us, but the horse-drawn boat comes at 11. So, the boat pulled by a horse.
Hope to be back home by then. Something's gone wrong if we're still here at 11.
Wow. Right then, we all ready?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, shall we have a dramatic countdown?
Absolutely.
All important photos at the start.
Get on your way there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
And we're off. Yeah, this guy on my left was very rapid. Very obviously a very thin and long paddleboard, so obviously very quick. But I do like the look. I mean, I've not really considered that I'd want to do some stand-up paddleboarding, but I do like the look of that chap's starboard paddleboard. I've been looking at them on the internet, and you know, if I wasn't in the market for a new kayak this year, I might have been tempted. But maybe, I don't know, I might pick up a cheap second-hand one or something and give it a go over the summer. Anyway, I'm not going to show this whole video. I might upload the whole thing and just put it as a, oh, here's the tandem kayak that was late, but they did actually take part. So we'll see them again later when we turn around. But yeah, I'm not going to upload the whole video. I'm going to edit it, just put some highlights in. What I might do is put the unedited video on as a unlisted video and just put the link in the description. And if you really want to watch the unedited videos, maybe like an ASMR video, then absolutely fine. But I'm not going to put it on the channel because long ASMR videos tend not to do very well, and I don't want to sort of confuse my viewing statistics by putting a long ASMR video on. And here's another rapid paddleboarder coming up my right hand side. Probably should have been a little bit over to the left of it so he could come past, but coming up to a pinch point anyway, so I think he just backed off a little bit till we got to the other side of the pinch point. And then here's another participant who was very late and decided, probably quite rightly, to start from the put-in point, so that's where we all put in because the car park just on the left there. The Llangollen Pavilion car park is just on the left, and very easy put in. If anybody wants to come and paddle this piece of the canal, that's probably one of the best places to put in. Unless you go right to the top at Horseshoe Falls, there's another car park up there. I've got a bit of a bad neck. I've had a bad neck for probably about 10 years now from when I used to play badminton, so I can't really properly turn around to see who's behind me. So I didn't quite know what side he was on, and also, in case you don't know, I'm actually deaf in one ear, so I don't have stereo hearing, so I can't tell when sound is coming from. So I knew he was close to me, and I knew he wanted to pass, but I couldn't quite make out where he was. It wasn't until he actually got pretty much alongside me that I realised where he was and I could make space for him. So I don't know, maybe I need some of those sunglasses that have got mirror, like wing mirrors in them or something. You just saw the people on bikes there, the marshals heading up to spread themselves out on the circuit, on the course. And that's a nice looking paddleboard too, but I think I probably want something a little wider to start with. And we've got the chap behind with the dogs on as well. I'm also messing about with an overlay. I used to do this a little bit when I was cycling. I used to put overlays on, and it works quite well with the data from my watch, my Garmin watch. So we've got the track where it shows where I am on the track, and a distance, basically like a progress bar that goes all the way to the right. And we've got speed, obviously, the date and time. We've got a pace, which is essentially 10 minutes per kilometre at the moment. And then my heart rate, which is 133 beats per minute, 132 beats per minute. And then that is also shown as in graph form, where the green line is my heart rate and the grey-white line is the pace. Nice little tunnel. I mean, it's a bridge really, but because the road goes at sort of quite an oblique angle, it's quite a long bridge tunnel. So this section of the canal, there is no motorised boat traffic allowed at all. There is only a horse-drawn boat that sometimes comes and pulls tourists up and down the canal, but there's actually no motorised boats at all. I would say it's a wake-free zone, so but some of these paddleboarders are putting out quite a wake.
Yeah, oh no.
Well, I came down inside, it's really shallow.
Oh yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, and I just caught from it, the dog went flying.
Oh dear. I'm sure he'll survive.
Yeah, so the guy was just saying that he grounded out on the side because the canal is really shallow here, and he was at the edge. I don't know, maybe he was trying to overtake me, but he was on the edge and he ground out with his fin, and the dog went flying in the water. And now the dogs are just running up the edge. You see my heart rate has dropped a little bit. I kind of didn't know how much effort to give it. I'd not really paddled continuously for 5k yet at all, really. I mean, I've had certainly some challenging paddles against like windy conditions and things like that, where I've had to give a bit of sustained effort, but I kind of didn't know how hard this was going to be, so I did back off a little bit after a pretty intense start. And this is where I overtake the poor chap with the dogs, because you guessed it, his dog had to go to the old bathroom and he had to get out. Fair play to him, he had to get out and pick it up. He did. So I managed to it's kind of like a pit stop, or at least it rhymes with pit stop. And yeah, he had to get off and pick that up, and that's how I got past him again. think this thing coming up the left with the sort of fairy lights is it's like a cafe. Like it's called the Ivywood Coffee, I think it is. So I'm maintaining a fairly respectable 5 kilometres an hour against what the captain at the start there described as a 1 kilometre an hour flow against us, so a net 6 kilometres an hour, I guess. Or rather, I'm paddling at 6 kilometres an hour, but I'm having experienced a net of 4 or 5 kilometres due to the flow. Obviously, the flow gets a little stronger as the canal narrows through things like bridges and stuff like that. So, yeah, let's just slow down a little bit there. Here we've got another marshal coming up.
Thank you.
Just like Parkrun, customary to thank the marshals. Heart rate's got up a little bit, just as the sort of flow's increased. I would like to find another way of recording the metrics. I mean, I think I've got another way. I've still got my old cycle computer, which is quite old, but it was quite a good one at the time, sort of 7 or 8 years ago. And if I can get like a heart rate strap for it, I think I'll still get my heart rate from it. The reason being, my watch is good, but the battery doesn't last very long anymore, and I'm reluctant to buy a new one because it lasts okay just as a watch, but it doesn't last very good when it's recording an activity. It lasts maybe like an hour and a half, something like that, maybe 2 hours at a push. So for a long paddle, it's not so good. It's fine for this because it was obviously less than an hour kind of thing. Well, so obviously, spoiler alert, it was less than an hour. But yeah, I'm thinking about using my old cycle computer because that, when it was new, the battery in that would last sort of 7 or 8 hours. So even if the battery's degraded, hopefully it'll now last sort of 4 or 5 hours. And as I say, if I get like just a cheap Garmin heart rate strap, then I can get my heart rate too. And I can even sort of mount it. Find a way to sort of mount it to the front of the boat, like where my feet are, and I can keep an eye on it and see my speed and stuff, like as a dashboard display kind of thing. It also has the capability of displaying maps and stuff, which my watch doesn't. So it might be useful. I'm going to try it. Just need to dig it out and see if it'll still hold the charge. I think I forgot to turn this stabilisation onto the right setting on this camera, so it's a little bit jerky, so apologies for that. But it gives a good sense of speed, I guess. Not going as fast as that guy on the bike though. Yeah, when I actually started this paddle, I wasn't sure if I was going to film at all. Like when I first got in my boat at the launch point, I had my cameras in my dry bag, but I hadn't attached anything to my boat because I wasn't comfortable about sort of vlogging with a lot of people. And then I got to the start and there was like 3 people there, so I thought, okay, I'll film it. And I set my cameras up while I was sat in my boat. It's the first time I've ever actually set my cameras up whilst actually sat in the boat, which is interesting. I don't think I would have been able to do it 2 months ago, just because my mobility was so bad because of being overweight. But now I've lost that sort of stone and a half, that I can actually lean forward and get to the front of the boat and set my camera up. And then obviously a load of people turned up. So I kept it recording, but I didn't talk to the camera like a vlog or anything like that. I decided if I was going to put it out, I would put it out with a voiceover, and this is exactly what I've done. And consequently, I didn't have my drone with me. I didn't have my drone with me at all. It wasn't that I had it in the bag and didn't get it out. I didn't have my drone with me just because I knew this canal was very narrow and unlikely that I was going to be able to fly my drone very easily. And I didn't want to stop and start really because I wanted to get a good time. So that's why there's no drone footage in this. It's very picturesque though. It goes from almost like cliff-sided canal to open and then tree-lined and back again within a few paddle strokes. I guess the only problem is there's quite a lot of road noise because there's a road just up to the right of the picture now as we look through down out front of the boat. I think I'm going to make some kind of number plate holder for my boat, so thinking about some kind of like pool float or maybe I don't know. Yeah, probably like some kind of pool float that I can basically strap to the front, like across those two D rings that are on the front of the boat, and then either just write my number on with a Sharpie or like spray paint it on or just wrap something around it that I can put some like that paper that I've got in front of my boat, so something like that, so that the marshals can see it basically, but it means I don't have to wear, because I don't really want to wear a high vis bib, and I don't really want to wear that paper over the front of my PFD because it'll be in the way of my camera in this instance. So yeah, thinking about making some kind of number plate, so let me know in the comments if you've got any ideas. But yeah, I'm thinking of some kind of like float, that like swimming aid or something like that I can put a hole through the middle, and then like, you know, even like a pool noodle, if I can get one big enough that I can write on the numbers. So here's the leader coming back.
Well done, mate.
100 metres.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, you can see from the track that I've not got too far to go to the turnaround point now. This is the Chainbridge Hotel, I believe, on the left hand side. And that bridge, that sort of footbridge, takes you to the Horseshoe Falls car park, or one of the Horseshoe Falls car park. No, I think it is the only Horseshoe Falls car park. So last push, this is where the current is at its strongest basically, as it's the water's been taken from the River Dee at Horseshoe Falls. So working pretty hard here to keep the going, but then there's,
well done, mate. Well done.
That's the second place chap. Yeah, everybody was really friendly, so I highly recommend getting yourself to one of these. They tend to post them on Facebook 2 or 3 days, if not longer, before the weekend. As I say, they're not everywhere every weekend, but some of them are more common than others, like sort of down south and stuff like that. They tend to be a bit more common and more regular. I think the only other one near me is in Wrexham, and I think I've only seen that run a couple of times, and it just happens that I couldn't attend for the weekends that they're running them. So maybe if they run it again this year, I'll get to that one. As I say, if they run this one every month like they're talking about, then I definitely could try and come to this one every time, if not close to every time. And there's the marshal there at the turning point.
Glad we're doing it this way around and not the other. Yeah, I'm fine, yeah, happy. Oh. Oh, it's quite wide. They said it was quite narrow.
Yeah, so the chap at the start said it was when he turned his 10 foot 6 inch board round, he didn't have much room either side. But I think it was plenty. I think my boat is about 13 foot. So
you usually pass on the right, don't you? So.
Yeah.
yeah, my boat is I think about 12 to 13 foot or something like that. So plenty of room for me and then some.
Oh my god, it's much easier this way. I'm glad we're doing it this way, not the other way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Too right.
Yeah, turned round and the floor just took me straight down. You see my speed. I barely started paddling again, and my speed is up to 8 kilometers an hour downstream. So just goes to show I'm not really putting much effort in and hitting speeds like that. That the floor up this end of the canal was pretty strong.
You've only got like 100 metres to go, and then it's all easy from there, I promise.
It was fun sort of seeing everybody passing and congratulating each other.
It is. You've only got like another 2 minutes effort and then you're there.
And giving each other encouragement.
Yeah. 5 minutes and you're there. Well done, mate.
Yeah, I felt obliged to stop paddling because I was going downstream to let people past. You know, being a kayak, my paddle's quite wide, so.
Well done, nearly there.
Sorry, I'm going to back here.
Okay, it's alright.
Sorry, mate.
Do you want to go past?
Yeah.
You want to go past? Go.
Yeah, if I can.
Yeah.
I might just end up striking outside you slightly. I'll try to paddle on one side. Thank you.
Alright.
I was going to attempt to try and catch him, but he's a long way ahead.
Yeah, he is, yeah. I was thinking the same, but...
Don't swim, you can't catch him.
Yeah, I thought I'd let him past. He was right in my wake and probably was quicker than me, just because of the turbulent water behind me was maybe struggling to pass. So I thought I'd let him pass. Since I'd slowed down to let that woman on the paddleboard go past me upstream, thought I'd let him pass. And then I tried to hang on to him maybe, and with the hope of maybe putting an effort in on the line to get to get a sprint finish. Let's see how that goes. I was also hoping maybe one of his other dogs needed to stop for another toilet break, and that would help me get past him. But that wasn't the case. But it was definitely a bit harder in his sort of wake. So he probably must have been struggling in my wake, to be fair. So now he's in essentially clear water. He's probably going to accelerate away from me.
Well done.
That looks easier than this thing.
Yeah.
Certainly hard work if you're the only one paddling a tandem kayak. Well, these are the two whitewater kayak, which I'm not sure if they were part of AquaPaddle or they were just using the canal to get to the top of the River Dee to Horseshoe Falls, and then they were going to use the River Dee to get back to Llangollen.
Morning.
Didn't see any numbers on them, and they had helmets on and stuff, so I'm guessing they were whitewater kayakers heading up to the top of the river. Wasn't sure what I was going to wear. It was fairly chilly, but it wasn't chilly enough for my dry trousers, I don't reckon. But also I didn't think it was warm enough to wear shorts. So I went for just some shell sort of tracksuit bottoms, thinking that hopefully they wouldn't get, if I did go in, not that I'd ever planned to go in, that they would be alright. As it happened, I think I probably would have been alright in shorts. The effort I was putting in, I was certainly warm at this point. And then on the top half, I just had my merino wool base layer with my rash vest. I'm just looking forward to being able to get into I've got a black rash vest. I've got a black rash vest, which is better quality than that one, but it's a bit too small for me at the moment. I still need probably another stone off before I can get in that one. We're up to another marshal. Well, same marshal that we saw on the way out.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think this is quite a decent sort of fat burning exercise for me. Looks quite nice, that coffee place, doesn't it? Maybe have to bring my wife here at some point and visit some of these places. I think there is actually a caravan park somewhere along this canal. It might be worth checking out with my caravan. Anyhow, yeah, I think this is a decent fat burning exercise. Sort of 150 BPM on the heart rate. That's it's pretty good. Sort of zone 2, maybe zone 3 training for me. I'm not sure what my zones are these days, but I imagine it's zone 2, zone 3. So not hugely pushing. When I'm running, I normally get sort of 160, 170 beats per minute. So not crazy TV fitness, but I think good level of fat burning. So hopefully this kind of stuff is helping. I am trying to put more of a into my into my paddle action. I'm trying to put more body movement into it rather than just using my arms. Although I have to say, I did feel it in my shoulders the next day, and I actually did go out paddling the next day as well, and I did feel it. But I did, you know, once I'd warmed up, it was all right. Oh, any headphones users listening to this at the moment, there is going to be a very loud train whistle in, I don't know, probably about sort of 30 seconds time. You'll know when the steam train starts to come past, there will be, it whistles right next to me and it's really loud. So just a fair warning if you've got headphones on, which I have at the moment because I'm recording this voiceover.
Oh, steam train.
There we go. Yeah, it was loud, you're right. Yeah, so if you're liking this video so far, please do give it a thumbs up by clicking the thumbs up button at the bottom of the screen, or wherever it is on whatever device you're watching it on. And if you're new to Adventures Out and you'd like to see more of this kind of content, then please do consider subscribing to the channel. You'd be most welcome, and I'm trying to push for 500 subscribers by the end of 2026, and I'm not far off 300, so hopefully we'll get there, get to 300 in the next sort of month or so. But yeah, do consider subscribing, and let me know in the comments if you would fancy having a go at one of these paddles, one of these AquaPaddle events, and you know, check out the website. I'll put a link in the description for the AquaPaddle website, so you can check out where the events are and see if there are any coming up that are near you. I'm hoping that whilst I'm travelling about over the summer on my holidays, that there may be some close to where I'm staying. There certainly are some listed close to where I'm staying, but whether they'll be on those weekends I'm not sure, but I'd really like to be able to do those. Kind of like parkrun tourism, I guess. I used to do quite a bit of parkrun tourism when I was into running. So here's the tunnel stroke bridge, so not too far from the end, and the last marshal before the marshal at the end.
Thank you. Oh. Quite tiring this.
You got it though, you've done really well.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know what those girls were saying. I hope they weren't being mean about me. I'm sure they weren't. Starting to feel it now, a bit of huff and puff about me, so it's just starting to slow down, realising I'm not keeping up with this paddleboarder ahead. So I just, and there was nobody close really behind me, so I just let off the gas a little bit. So I believe this is the bridge where we put in, so we're not too far to go here at all. You can just about see the flag in the water ahead of us. Definitely not going to catch the guy with the dogs. What a shame that his dogs didn't have to stop for another toilet break. And here's the captain coming out to meet me and get my details. Obviously you can't see my number, which is why I'm thinking about the registration plate.
Alright, good. Yeah. It's missing some letters. Just Adam, I think, he said. That's it, yeah. That's it.
And here we are, finish. I stopped paddling before the finish. That's not how you win a race, is it? But there you go, that's my first AquaPaddle event, and I finished with an official time of 49 minutes and 20 seconds. So pretty good. The leader finished with 40 minutes and 22 seconds, and the chap ahead of me, the chap with the dogs, 48 minutes and 45.
I'm normally at the back at Parkrun, but
yeah, the chap ahead of me with the dogs, 48 minutes 45. So less than a minute ahead of me. you know, on the idea bin, do it again. Hopefully I'll be able to take a minute or two off that time. Now I know what the course is and how much effort to put in. Next time I do it, hopefully I'll be a little bit fitter, a little bit lighter. Maybe I won't film it, but maybe I will. And yeah, hopefully I'll just keep shaving some time off it each time, just like Parkrun basically. And there was 14. Just statistics. There was 14 people.
Couple of feet length boat round, I thought.
14 people in it at all. The longest time was 1 hour. The longest time was 1 hour 14 minutes. So not bad at all, really. You know, so you're not going to be waiting around. I mean, it's customary to wait around to everybody finish. I didn't do that. I have to say, I did wait around for quite a bit and waited for probably most people to finish. I certainly waited around for an hour or so.
It's like having a tailwind when you're cycling.
I certainly waited around for sort of another 10 minutes or so to take me up to the sort of hour. And then by the time I'd finished packing away in my car, everybody had finished. But the way I see it, you know, it might be customary to wait around for anybody's finished, but it's also customary to get there on time. You know, so some of those people could have maybe got there a little earlier and we could have started a bit earlier. But hey, you know, it is what it is. I actually had to travel like 50 minutes, so because of that I ended up getting there quite early. Maybe most people were a bit more local, and my experience, the more local somebody is, the more likely they are to be late. Anyway, that is the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you are inspired to try your own AquaPaddle event in the future, and let me know how you get on if you do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.